welcome to the Recovery Daily podcast. I'm Rachel Miller. I'm a stroke survivor and grateful recovering alcoholic. And I have 20 minutes because my sourdough is baking. So we'll see what happens. But before I start, I want to provide a reminder about why I do this podcast, and I think it's important to start off like this for a reminder for me and for a reminder for the listeners that I began the podcast to break the silence of my own suffering, both to save myself from a relapse after becoming visually impaired from a stroke, and to reach others that are suffering in silence. Thank you for helping me stay sober and channel my energy to make a positive impact in the world. Today I want to talk about inner conflict. And when I look back in my life, the first 42 years, they were woven with recklessness, depression, hopelessness, and a ton of what I would call shallow fun. And when I say that, I mean the smiles only ran so deep. I had friends and I still love them dearly, but there was stuff that I didn't talk about. I mean, I had so much fun. But I had stuff that I thought was unique to me, and I didn't talk about stuff like how much I cried. And I didn't tell anyone that I had this feeling inside of me that was so hollow sometimes that it just ached. And it felt like my insides were just going to dry up and turn to dust. I felt like life was pulverizing my heart. My heart just ached all the time. And I still feel it sometimes. Lately, I feel it, unfortunately. I think I'm just under a lot of stress. And this feeling that I'm trapped inside this story of mine and there's no way out. That's kind of what I've been feeling lately. Lately, I feel like I'm searching for a way to get out of my vision impairment. Like, I almost get this slight panic feeling when I think about I can't get out. I can't get out of this. Sometimes I feel completely wrecked and scared and hopeless. And that's just the honesty. I do a lot of positive things right now in recovery, like this new fashion show, Recovery Daily fashion show I've been doing. And it's really because I want to play the part of being a positive person in recovery. And if I play the part, if you smile on the outside, it'll come on the inside, that kind of thing. And my disease of alcoholism and my stroke have been a collision of adversity that has been deeply challenging. But it has been enlightening to claw my way out of it. And these times that I feel trapped when I want my perfectly functioning brain back are times that I'm in denial. The more I try to reason my way out of having to live this way, the more I'm fighting myself and I'm creating unnecessary inner conflict. And the more I struggle, the more I resist, the more hopeless I become. It's like quicksand. My sobriety program helps me to stop fighting myself. Of course, I'm not perfect, it's progress, not perfection. I do know now that it takes more courage to admit that I need help, to surrender and trust that maybe my way isn't the only way, isn't the best way. And today I was at my hairdresser, which is always a big day for me that I get to leave the house. And I said, if you told me 10 years ago that today I would be disabled, unemployed, sober, and love baking, I would never believe it. And I definitely got a laugh out of it, but it's so true. Like, I've done everything possible, it seems, to resist the outcome of where I am today. I have resisted everything, all of it. Um, and everything that I'm faced with, it seems like, I'm just like, no, no, I won't do that. No, that's not going to happen. And it happened anyway. You know, life happens anyway. And things aren't bad. You know, I mean, I know that may sound amazing for me to say that things aren't bad. They're just different. And aside from the headaches that I have, which today was yet another terrible headache day, which I'm starting to feel like is my own fault, and I'll talk about that. I'm rather happy. Tonight, I put the puppies down to bed and I sat on the couch in silence and I wrote in my little remarkable writing tablet for this podcast. And I did that while the oven was heating up to a scalding 500 degrees to bake a beautiful loaf of sourdough. So we'll see. We'll see if we can be done before it dings. We'll see. But anyway, self-reflect. My heart is in this, I promise, even though the sourdough is baking and I'm watching the clock. Self-reflection has become my compass in recovery. And it's amazing how focusing inward has enhanced my perspective of the world around me. I'm slowly but persistently and patiently building and strengthening new habits and understanding old behaviors so I repeat them less and less and rewiring things in my brain. Being patient is difficult for me. I'm really struggling to commit lately to voiceover on my digital devices, and I'm paying for it with the pain in my head. I think that's why I've been struggling so much the past 2 weeks, because I keep thinking everything is going to change and it doesn't change, you know, and I have to feel the pain before I'm like, okay, you know, it's still there, you know. So tomorrow's another day, and in my stroke recovery, I liken this to a relapse. It's just like, you know, I don't do the next right thing and I only suffer. And success today, while no longer employed, for me is measured in how good I am to myself. How much did I practice acceptance today and take on the identity of a sober stroke survivor? Did I nap? Did I wear my sunglasses? Did I practice voiceover? Did I talk to another human being? Did I play the role of my new identity? Or am I resisting and trying to do things that cause me pain? This is how I've redefined success. Am I forgiving myself when I'm not perfect? Am I gentle and encouraging to my inner child? You know, in my darkest drinking days, there wasn't a lot of inner conflict. Fear, anxiety, and depression always won. There was absolutely no fight in me. I just drank it all away. But today is different for me. And being human is hard. We never acknowledge that. We just keep pushing forward and keep trying to be strong and trying to fight all of this stuff. And it's hard. You know, I don't think we humans give ourselves enough credit to just sit back and be like, you know what? It's hard to do this thing, to have all these feelings and all of this stuff. There's so much stuff. And all this stuff and inner conflict, fear, anxiety, depression, it's a gift of being human. but it feels like sometimes it just sucks. And I don't think that these gifts, the inner conflict, the fear, the anxiety, the depression, I don't think it was meant to hold us back. I think it was meant to teach us. I think it was meant to make things hard so that we grow more. It's not to shut us down or push us away from hard things. It's to grow and become better humans so that we can teach our children to be better humans. For me, the most significant victories in my life today are from the quiet battles inside me that I find a way to grow from rather than drink. And every day that I don't drink is a success. It's a victory for me whenever I don't drink. So we did it. And I'll tell you, there was a lot of value in there. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna go get my sourdough bread, which I believe is going to ding in a matter of minutes. And thank you so much for joining me today. Thanks for baking sourdough with me tonight. And take care of you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.